Hi. So I've been talking about 4 women in the Bible. Thank you for following. Thank you for the encouragement. I appreciate. So I've talked about Mary. I've talked about Esther. I've talked about Ruth. Today I'm rounding up with Abigail. So Abigail, her husband's name is Nabal. He has livestock that he's sharing in the field, and David's men were there. They gave him protection, they gave him security, they protected his livestock, his properties. And so when it was time for harvest, David thought to send his men. And then when the men got there, they told Nabal, like, David sent us in his name and said, we should request for this, and that. Be kind enough to give us what our master has sent us for. Normal, Nabal should not have waited for David's men to come and ask for those things, because ordinarily you should return good with good, not with evil. David's men protected them, kept them safe, and they didn't touch anything that belonged to Nabal. They could have, because they were armed. They could have, but they didn't. And so they asked Nabal to please give them from the much he has, just little. And Nabal said, who is this David? He said, who are these guys that break up from their superiors? They just wake up and do as they like. But he's claiming he doesn't know him. How come he knows that David must be running away from his superior or something? Nabal acted foolishly, and so David's men went back to tell him. David get plan. David had plans for them. So he was going to go and annihilate the whole of Nabal's family, his entire lineage. And then Abigail got a word of it. If Abigail wasn't a nice person, she would not have been accessible to the servants, because for the servants to be able to come and talk to Abigail, it means she was someone they could come to, someone they could reach. She was